Yep, y'all see it. You are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Academy Sports Podcast live here on a Monday, cold Monday evening, last day of November. Happy Thanksgiving belated to everyone. And here we go into the fall, or I'm sorry, the winter, that is, which is the winter here in Detroit. Cold, snow. We got 2 to 4 inches coming overnight tonight, getting us ready for a white Christmas 2020, baby. A lot to cover tonight. What a weekend in sports. Y'all know we have to talk about the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight, or your Uncle Roy and Uncle Mike getting together at the family barbecue and they got into it because somebody wanted to run the grill. Whatever you want to call it, we're going to talk about it because we're going to share our thoughts on it. Also, poor little Nate. Man, poor little Nate.
Poor little Nate.
Poor little Nate. Nate, man, we praying for you. We hope you're doing well. But we're going to get our thoughts on that as well. Also, the NFL is wrapping up, well, what we thought would be wrapping up the end of another great week in the NFL, only to find out again that the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens game has now been moved to Wednesday. So now it looks like week 12 won't be ending until Wednesday afternoon at 3:40. Tonight, we have Seattle and Philly. Philly trying to take control of the garbage dumpster fire that is the NFC East. And Seattle is still trying to prove that they are one of the top echelon teams.
Come on, DK.
It's been some shakeup. It's been some shakeup in the top fives. Top fives look different this week. Mine looks a little different for sure. I've made a change. Just want to throw that out there. I made a change. All right. Kobe says, where do you want me to log in? What's the preferred platform? Y'all know how to find us. YouTube is our main platform. If you go to YouTube, look up Academy Sports. We are right there. It's Academy Sports Show on YouTube, Academy Sports Show on Facebook, Academy Sports Show on IG. You can also follow us on IG. You see my tag. You see Dre's tag underneath at JWillow2, at Dre_on-air. Welcome to the show. We want everybody commenting. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. But most of all, make sure you comment. We want to hear from you tonight. This should be a fun show. We should have a good time tonight because we got some things to laugh at, some things to talk about. And, of course, if you ever want to get involved in the show, you know how to hit us up. You hit us up, we'll add you in. You can come on in and say your piece. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I got to turn it over to my man because this is about to be his moment.
Now?
Something happened over the weekend.
Now?
But this is about to be his moment. No, you don't have to go now, but I'm about to hand you the floor. You don't have to give it back. Once you start, I want you to just take it and just I'll fall back and let it happen.
We doing that first? I thought we were doing something. I thought we was doing.
No, I mean, well, we doing the other part first too. Okay. So I might be jumping ahead of myself because I'm really excited. But we're going to talk about that. But let me just turn it over to you, and then you'll guide us the rest of the way. Y'all know him, at Dre_on-air. What's up, Dre? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, family? What's going on, y'all? We appreciate you, like Joe said, coming in and feed, man. However you want to do it. We prefer the YouTube, but thank you. Make sure you share, as always. Sharing helps us grow. And if you want us to grow, get more people in that comment section. That's the best way to do it. So make sure you share it as soon as you come in because you know the show's going to be fire because that's why you rock with us. We your sports show's favorite sports show. Let us know exactly how you feel, like Joe said, and by putting it in the comment section, and we will bring you on. We appreciate you, like Joe said. We have prefer to line up for you today, like Joe said. Tyson and Roy went at it. Polo Nate. The Lions got something to say, NFL, and all that jazz. Let's move right into it, man. Thank you. Let's move right to it.
We have some engineering challenges here. Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right. Well, let's acknowledge our commenters. Thank you, Kobe. We appreciate you choosing the preferred platform. Shout out to Mama V. Hello. Tyson and Roy with Kobe. You in the house, baby. Let's go. Nate, boys.
And all that jazz.
Pops, let's go.
There we go. There we go.
Kobe, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. That post actually got me a little recognition. Could you believe it? Got me a little recognition. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all pumping that up and sharing that and liking that and getting that in the stratosphere. Got me noticed and put a little money in my pocket. So appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. All right. So first topic is up, man. We want to make sure that everybody got to see the Tyson versus Roy Jones fight. That whole thing, the Triller setup. Shout out to Triller. Came out of nowhere, hosting fights now.
For sure. Big time on Triller's part.
Great boxing on the undercard there. The Hispanic guys that started off, that was great boxing. Badu, great boxing. And then we get to Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. No expectations going into that fight. Jake Paul has a little itty bitty bit of boxing background. Nate Robinson, no boxing background, but that dude shredded. He's an athlete, football, basketball, but he is in his 40s, facing a 20-something guy who trains for boxing. And Nate went night-night. Nate went night-night. After a round of hugging, Jake Paul said, okay, let me go ahead and put this boy to sleep. And kapow! I mean, that was a knockout that you just wanted to always see. Somebody just take that straight hook and then just out on the feet and then just straight down on the canvas. Night, sleep. Poor little Nate.
Man, listen, I think this is one of those situations where it was worse because he talked before the fight. So he was on Twitter. If you missed it, he tweeted out and said, this is going to be for my family, for my kids, for all my NBA bros. I'm doing this for the league, for everybody. We're going to shock the world tonight. It didn't work out.
It didn't work out for you, Nate.
It didn't work out. And so you got the pre-fight talk. Then you got the fight itself where, like you said, they were just hugging each other for a good, first couple rounds. Maybe first round.
First round, yep.
And then you had Snoop doing the commentating. And when Nate went to sleep, Snoop started singing that hymn. Precious Lord. Take my hand.
Snoop is a national
hilarious, bro.
Snoop is a national treasure. He makes everything better. Because he totally made that so much better. That boy got on next round. Somebody get that boy some boxing shoes. He was in there, some J's. It was like, you are so not prepared for this moment. You are so not prepared. You thought this was going to be what, Nate? Like, you could train for a couple weeks and hit a punching bag and thought you was going to go in there and just compete?
Man, Nate did not. I think Nate really thought this was an exhibition. Like, he must have really thought, we just going to be some celebrities fighting.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't want to fight. We just doing this just to support, for the charity,
Right.
So we just go just tap a little bit. Nah. What's his name? YouTuber?
Jake Paul?
Yeah. He
hit you for real.
Yeah. He was trying to take his head off.
Hey, and with bigger gloves, though. Like, they tried to be nice. And give you 10-ounce gloves?
10-ounce gloves.
Like, they tried to give you some cushion there, and you still got knocked out.
Oh wow!
Listen,
that's hilarious.
Man, listen, he put himself in that position, so we should be allowed to talk about him.
Yeah, I think we should be allowed. Are we? Some people was trying to fire it back, like we should give him credit for having the courage to stand in the ring.
Which I do. I do give him courage. In national television, pay-per-view, against a guy twice your age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do give you got nuts for that. But this was real, and you didn't know, and you went to sleep. You was gone. Max Kellerman's like, they brought him up too early because my man was like, What's up, fellas? Got $600K for that beatdown too. You ain't get no six. Did you get $600K for that?
No, I don't think he got 600K. I think Nate got 600K for it.
I was about to say, Dennis, bro.
Dennis, if you got 600K, you want to be a sponsor of the show?
That Vegas was doing it. Snoop was hilarious.
Yes.
Snoop was hilarious.
I was dying.
Snoop did his dang, bro. 600K for Nate to get knocked out. That's a nice payday.
Yeah, that's a nice payday. He can never return to sport though. Mm-hmm. Like he should just, unfortunately, in this era, like something like this happens to you, just see you, bro.
Got to fade off into existence.
Yeah, like see you. Don't do it. Like you did. Everybody's disappointed. Like
now it's an era where nobody remembers you as a basketball player.
Yeah, they'll always remember you. They won't like, bro. And you had some epic slam dunk competitions,
right?
But we're not gonna remember that.
Nobody remembers that. You're the guy who got knocked out by the YouTuber on the Tyson pay-per-view.
Exactly.
That's. Hey, ain't you the guy? Yeah. He got knocked back to Madison Square Garden in New York. He wore the wrong color shorts, bro. He wore the wrong colors.
Man,
Six take an L. All right, so main event. Tyson Jones Jr. It was what it was, right? From a 51 and 55-year-old guy.
It was what it was.
It was what it was, right?
Yep. I was disappointed in the outcome in the sense of I hate that they did the little let's just be nice to everybody and call this a draw. Even though it was two old guys fighting, it wasn't a draw. Like Roy Jones didn't get his butt whooped, no, by any means. So we're not gonna call it that. But yeah, Roy just kind of, I wouldn't even call that sticking and moving. Like, bro, he was punching and running.
Jab run. Jab run.
And then how is it that two judges had Tyson? One judge, I thought that was 2-1. I didn't know that was a split. I thought split is
exhibition rules say they can't have a winner.
Gotcha. Okay, well, Tyson won. And at the end of it, when they were talking and Roy said, listen, man, I'm hurt. I believe Roy. I believe he was hurt more than what he was even letting on to be. Like when he got off that camera, he was that Tyson, them body blows he was getting.
He was just holding this the whole time.
Oh.
Them Mike Tyson sounds.
Yeah.
I was like, Mike in there going, bro.
And Mike was trying to get him.
Yeah.
Mike was trying to get him, but
he was slow though.
Yeah, he was slow.
Like if that was a Nate Robinson, somebody would have got knocked out. But Roy, he got the instinct. He still got his instincts to duck that hook, right? So he ducked that hook a couple times. It was slow. It was slow enough for him to duck. But if that was a normal person, Mike would have took somebody's head off.
Yeah. Right.
He was throwing them with, what did he say? Bad intentions?
Bad intentions.
Yeah, I'm throwing punches with bad intentions.
But I mean, it was entertaining. It was nostalgia at its best. I mean, you know, we got a chance to see these two great fighters in the ring together. 30 years later, but it was cool to see.
It's still cool to see.
Overall, I think the entertainment factor for the night I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, I could have did with all the music and performance.
Yeah, all the performers. Snoop did put on a good show, but
Snoop did his thing. Yeah, but that's like a Triller thing because Triller is a music app, so I guess they wanted to keep with that. But it's fun. It'll be great to see where they go from here.
Right.
Said Tyson by 3 points. Tyson, what about my ass? He fought 3 years ago. I haven't fought in 15 years. What about my ass? Nobody cares about my ass.
That was pretty good, Dre.
Oh, man. Win. He made the night. Yeah. Snoop got himself a deal.
Yeah.
Snoop signed with Triller.
Would you listen to Snoop on a regular broadcast though, like on a real serious fight? Would you still
serious fight? Nah, probably not on a serious fight.
No,
that's not his lane.
Too much color.
Yeah, he gotta. One, he not gonna do the research on boxers he don't know. Okay. Two, the the people that he knew, the celebrity atmosphere. That's more him. That's more his, because you see, he wasn't out there when the real boxers was boxing.
That's true.
You know, he came out there when the celebrities was boxing for that color commentated,
Right.
that black commentated. Snoop stay high, bro. They both was high. Snoop, Roy Jones, Tyson, they all was on something. You get that right. Listen, you could tell a gross difference by round 5. Roy Jones was like, Tyson was like, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Yep. Tyson was sitting in that corner, just like, let me out there again. Roy was like, oh man.
That's some scary sounds.
Oh God.
That's some scary stuff, bro.
That's hilarious.
Mike said he smoked before the fight. I believe it. I believe he was high. He was high as hell. Him and Roy was high.
Roy, yeah.
Yeah, they both had to be on something.
They needed to be in that ring together.
But great event. You know, I mean, I think for the purists of boxing, the undercard real fights, they satisfied that. I do like the format of the 2 minutes for them, but the 3 minutes for the regular boxing and the 8 rounds, because 12 rounds is really a lot of rounds. So I like the 8 round kind of thing because it speeds up the fight. You know what I'm saying? Those first 2 guys, I don't want to be rude, but the 2 Hispanic guys, I was just gonna say Hispanic names, but
don't.
They was fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was a belt on the line.
Yeah,
they was throwing real good punches throughout the whole thing because it was accelerated. You had 8 rounds to make your point.
Yep.
So I really like that aspect of it. So I look forward to seeing the next one. And hopefully it's another headline like that. But shout out to Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson for not embarrassing themselves.
Right. All right.
Yes, this may cause some more old school fights to emerge. You are correct, Dennis.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know where you go from there. Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, they too old. George Foreman, they too old. Like how far removed from boxing are we going here? That'll be the question. Winky Wright, Zab Judah, like where are we putting these guys? I don't know.
Holyfield,
Tyson, that'll be horrible.
I don't know how many other ones I want to see, actually, to be honest with you. Like, I don't want to see a repeat of, like, classic stuff that we already saw happen. This was something, I think what made this unique is that we've never seen it.
Seen this, yeah, that's true.
So I don't think I want to see a rematch of the 2 old guys that fought back when they were younger. 2025.
Listen, that fight was so overhyped and gave us absolute garbage. I don't want to see nothing of that. All right. We good here?
We're good here.
All right. There was some news that broke.
There was.
I was sitting on the toilet, actually. And as I often do. And something just tells me, get on Twitter. I'll never be on Twitter, but someone's like, just get on Twitter. I get on Twitter. I see the article. Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn fired. I said, now what you talking, Twitter? What you talking? What are you talking? So I had to go check Facebook. It's there. I checked USA Today. It's there. ESPN.com. It's there. I said, this is real. Before I got a chance to screenshot, crop, and get it into the group chat, bang, we on, baby. We on. It's real. It's popping. This is a beautiful thing. Okay? I rejoiced on the toilet. I said, yes, this is great news. Phone's starting to blow up. I said, I can't talk to people while I'm on the toilet. Let me finish, and then I start talking to people on the phone. I know what you're going to say. Yes, it's a beautiful. Yes, as people's residential Lions fan, I get the call. Just like you, my residential Cleveland fan. Anything happen Cleveland, I'm going to send it to you. I get all the Lions texts and tweets, okay?
Yep.
I said, this is a joyous occasion. I must rejoice and be glad in it.
That you did.
Then it said it was like we won the chip this weekend. Nobody remembers getting blown out on Thanksgiving. You understand me? It didn't happen.
It
But you
did.
know what? Thank you, Deshaun Watson. You are getting a statue in Detroit right now. They said Deshaun Watson's charity has gotten more more submissions from Detroit fans over this weekend than anybody. You understand me? So what I did, I said, you know what? I gotta go live. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna tell the people I went live on Thanksgiving to show my disdain for the product that is the Detroit Lions. Deshaun Watson is the real MVP, Dennis. I went live to show my disdain for the product that is Detroit Lions. I've been live before, first game of the season, to show my disdain for the output. I detached myself from the Lions. I haven't watched a full Lions game all season. Joey made me watch that Thanksgiving debacle. Understand that was the most Lions football that I have watched all year.
You're at my house. It's Thanksgiving. It's
I
football.
know we could have watched something else. There were other options. You understand me? So I said I gotta go live. Joey, do you have a snippet of that live?
Why, yes, Dre. Here we go.
Here we go. My people have been let go. You understand me? We are free.
One more time. The fact that you connected Lions fans as the slaves asking for Pharaoh to be let go. Pharaoh, let my people go. Oh,
let them go, Doc. Let them go.
That was classic.
We was under a state of tyranny. You understand me? From these two men who position themselves as men from doing it the Patriot way, and they absolutely positively sucked. They sucked. They sucked as a GM. They sucked as the director of player personnel. They sucked as a head coach. You understand me? You were pointing out on multiple occasions that this man on the sideline looks like he's doing nothing. He's doing nothing. He's watching the game. He's got a ticket like everybody else. He's literally watching the game. That's him all game. Just standing there. Mouth not moving, not talking on the headset, no play card, just watching. What are you doing? What coaching are you doing? Team looks discombobulated. 10 men on the field on multiple occasions. Bad penalties. Getting blown out. Not putting players in the right position. Defense is a wreck. You understand me? Your number one pick didn't coach him up at all. Made him look like hot garbage and didn't back him up not a bit. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. And in your years, you have traded away all the voices that was in there that even had the gall to go against you. One of the best corners in the league, Darius Slay, goodbye. One of the best up-and-coming safeties in the league, traded to Seattle, goodbye. Diggs, goodbye. Golden Tate, goodbye. Anybody who had an ounce of gumption in their soul to rise up and say, hey, we don't like the way you treating everybody, you got rid of. And then you bought every stinking patriot you could think of, every conformative patriot that you could think of, and put them in the team. Yep. Dead last in rushing. Back-to-back years of taking a running back in the second round. Dead last in defense. I'm ready for it to be over with. You got here, you said you had to make it a clean slate. Caldwell got you to the playoffs twice in 4 years.
He said your cupboard was bare.
Cupboard was bare. Now it ain't nothing here. And you want somebody to come in here and take it over and take it back to the promised land. You better overpay somebody to come in here to do a right job. Goodbye, Matt Patricia. Goodbye, Bob Quinn. Good riddance. Hey, play my joint. Like, people go. I wear it with confidence today. Because I know it's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Dark days we are in, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You understand me?
Listen, if you listen,
there is something inside of us, Lions fans. Let it go.
Go follow Andre Douglas on Facebook if you want to see that whole video. It's hilarious.
We will overcome these horrible men who destroyed our franchise. It was already bad, but they destroyed our franchise. Had to wait till the owner died. Had to wait till the other owner was too decrepit. But here comes Sheila. Oh, Sheila. Take us there, Sheila. You understand me? Sheila got on the interwebs. She got on the interwebs. She said, I'm sorry. My parents was old. I should have did something sooner. I apologize. Please, baby, please. Stay a Lions fan. I will do better by you. I believe in you, Sheila. This is what you get now. Hope. This is the one thing you hate about Lions fans is hope. And I got it. I'm oozing in. It's dripping. It's pouring out my pores. I smell it. It feels good.
I love this about Lions fans because this is pure. You guys have the realest hope in the league. But I don't know about the future. That's all.
Sheila gonna do it.
Sheila's gonna do it.
Sheila's gonna do it.
Sheila's gonna do it. So I'm happy for you guys. This is not a moment to troll. I'm happy for you guys. It was bad. It was bad. I think the media, you owe ESPN, who the machine, you owe them, some love too, Detroit fans, because they killed the organization for the entire weekend.
They did.
The Lions got blew out on Thanksgiving, and it was the top of every show.
Yep.
Is what is wrong in Detroit. Enough is enough. And when you have ownership that acted like they weren't going to do anything, and then you got Patricia, then you got Quinn, and they killed y'all on the idea that you fired Caldwell after going to the playoffs twice.
Yep.
They killed
him. That's to say something. It's like, listen, the Lions are bad. But y'all, we not used to y'all being this bad. Something's awry. We're not used to y'all being this bad. We free. We free. It's over. Hopefully. It's over.
No more chains holding you.
No, I'm done. So, Lions fans, question.
Oh, God. That is hilarious. Okay, question. That's my cue. Get ready. Get the questions ready. All right.
Question. Who's the next coach? Who's the next coach of the Detroit Lions? So Lions fans, we know each other, we see each other. It's a head nod. It's a what's up. Brother Kevin called me yesterday. We talked about 30 minutes about the Lions and their possibilities and moving forward in the head coaching realm. And these were the guys that came up. Okay, I guess I got cut off a little bit. Kevin brought up offensive coordinator from the Carolina Panthers, Joe Brady, former LSU offensive coordinator, came with Joe Burrow. This guy, this is a McVay kind of thing, right? This is the next up and coming play caller. Sees offense in a different light. All he needs is the weapons to implement his system. Now, Cincinnati has not been off the chain offensively all year. Lots of injuries, and it's Cincinnati. And it's Carolina. I'm sorry. So, what do you think? Joe Brady, Carolina.
I think from an offensive standpoint, it sounds good. But I'll say this about all the choices that are going to end up being out there. You need somebody that can come in and coach and lead.
Mm.
And I don't know if he's that guy. I don't know if Joe Brady can do that. To me, I heard somebody say earlier, the cupboard. You claimed the cupboard was bare when you got here, Quinn. The cupboard is bare now that you guys are leaving. So this is a full rebuild.
Yeah.
This is a whatever's left of talent on this team, ship it out of here. Get it out. Whatever's left, get it out. Whatever's left, get what you can for trades. Whatever's left, you need to start over rock bottom. So you need somebody to come in and build a program. And a lot of these guys that are going to be named are guys that are not we haven't seen that happen. And I feel like you've got to have somebody that comes in here that identifies with Detroit and identifies with the organization and identifies with the players as men, but also then good play caller or whatever it is. Like if he's a defensive guy, be a defensive guy. If he's an OC, be an OC, and then get really good people around you. Joe Brady seems a little young in that category to me.
Fair.
I don't know.
All right. No pops, no different teams. Come on, tradition. You gotta watch us, okay? Deal with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that'll never change.
Deal with it.
They've ruined Thanksgiving every year.
All right. Irvin brings up Eric Bieniemy, OC, Kansas City. We talked about this guy the other day. Under Andy Reid, great prolific offense. But the question about him is it Andy Reid or is it him?
That is, I would hate, this is what I would hate to happen. I would hate for y'all to pick him and you find out it really wasn't him.
Mm.
That would suck. But it would be very Lions fan type situation. It would be just the saga of being a Lions fan continues. But that's the big question to me around him is he that guy? Is he a play caller? Is he a player's guy? Is he a builder? Is he a leader of men per se? Or is he really is he going, hey, I like this play, and then Andy goes, yeah, let's go with that one? Or is it Andy saying, okay, I want to go here, and Eric goes, yeah, coach, let's do that. I like that too. Or is he really calling plays off of that big play sheet that he has because they're both holding play sheets? If they're both holding play sheets, there's a lot of co-op happening. I don't know. That's the question mark. Is it really him? He's been in a lot of interviews. He's a hot name. He hasn't been given a shot. But is it real? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like the Rooney guy.
Right.
Where unfortunately he's getting all these interviews because it's a part of the rule. James brings up Eric, but John Dorsey as GM.
Ooh.
You know him well from Cleveland.
Yeah, and John knows him well from Kansas City when he was with Andy Reid. Now, I'm just from personal, John Dorsey as a GM goes and gets talent. Now, John Dorsey doesn't stay around to see that talent come come to fruition. And he's known to go out and get a couple guys that are out there on the fringe that have talent but like to kick women in hotels. I mean, unfortunately, that happens. So he's been known to get some guys. But what you see in Kansas City is the production of John Dorsey. So he clearly can do the job.
Okay. Robert Saleh, DC, San Francisco. So ever since he's been there, he's had a top 5 defense. Defense absolutely wrecked with injuries this year. Still a top 10 defense. Richard Sherman today on Twitter told everybody this guy should not be here next year. He should be a head coach somewhere. You see how he interacts with his players. You're talking about the leadership and being able to keep guys' attention. This is a guy that's on my radar, and I think he's number 1 on my short list. How you see him?
I was going to say this should be your number 1 guy. If you had to make a list right now, he should be on it, and he should be number 1 because I know I just said you question whether a guy can build because you've never seen him because they're young. So I think you got to take that and say, okay, we're going to take a risk there no matter what unless we get a retread.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going for energy, intensity, a guy that has that hard-nosed feel, I think he would be perfect here, to be honest with you. You get a defense that has his attitude, but not only a defense that has his attitude. Could you see a team that plays for this guy and they have that hard-nosed, tough mindset because of how their coach is?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you look at teams, you look at their coaching, you look at who their coaches are, and you can see that personality, that imprint that the coach has on his players. They play a certain way where they start calling it that Joe Brady offense, that Eric Bieniemy offense, that Robert Saleh defense. When you start seeing that type of activity, then you know you got something. This guy, I think, is that guy. I think he will have to, of course, surround himself with some good minds. He's got to get an offensive coach because he's not going to be an X's and O's guy. But y'all, I don't know that Detroit needs that guy. Detroit needs a leader. You need a coach that can come in here and build something that can stand up with some integrity in front of the cameras and talk to the press and have that energy that's engaged with guys, engaged with players. Right. And to me, this is the number 1 on the list, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think since it's such a rebuild and since it's such a start from the studs, you got to start with culture first, right? And the San Francisco culture has, since he's been there, it's been tough-nosed and a great scheme. He coaches them up very well. He's got guys that he didn't plan on having starting on his defense right now because of injuries, keeping that 49ers team afloat. And you got to have a staple. And since offensively we're stunted, and probably will be stunted for some time now, you got to hang your hat on something. So I'm cool with going as a defensive coach as the head coach this time. Like we were saying before, they usually go defensive coach, offensive coach, defensive coach, offensive coach. So going back-to-back defensive coach, I have no issue because this guy seems like he can coach, right? It seems like he's a part of the system of building a defense. No shot at Eric, but it's kind of like Patricia over again. You don't know if it's Bill Belichick or Matt Patricia. You don't know if it's Eric Bieniemy or Andy Reid. And that is just too close to home right now for any Detroit Lions fan, to be honest with you. And plus, you not coming in here doing Pat Mahomes stuff because we ain't got Pat Mahomes.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So your playbook won't matter here. You understand? And right. I feel like a guy like him, I wouldn't even interview for the job because we don't got none of the pieces here. Zero pieces. None. But as a defensive coach, you can find defensive guys to come play for you with a scheme, coach them up, and have them be the staple as your offense builds, as your offense gains some sort of identity throughout the years.
Right.
So he's my number 1 pick so far as the coach. And now this guy. Okay. Jim Harbaugh.
You can have him.
We all expect him to be fired this offseason. Some people don't think it's happened. Some people think it will happen.
What's taking so long? We could
He's
have made the same announcement in the weekend.
better NFL coach than college coach, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think the issue with Harbaugh, like I've said this year in my rants, I'm not going to rant again because at this point, it's bad. He doesn't connect with the players,
right?
And in the NFL, in a normal NFL situation, in most cases, you don't necessarily have to. These guys are getting paid millions to play this game. It's a business. The players understand that. So when it comes to effort, it's easy to find the next guy. We can cut you and get somebody else. In college, is different. In college, it's more rah-rah. In college, these guys are still impressionable 18 to 20-year-old young men. They're still not as mature yet. You know, you're just dealing with a different type of player in college that it just doesn't seem like Harbaugh connects to. But to your point, Harbaugh works in the NFL, but he doesn't stay around. Don't bring a quirky guy into this mix. This is already a bad situation because then it'll become about Harbaugh again. Like wherever he goes, it's about him and not about the organization or about the team. It's about him being there and making the team. That's not what you guys need. I think you got to bring in a fresh, young guy. It's brand new. He's got nothing to lose. Don't bring in in a sense, he'd be a retread. And I think it's too close to home. I think this is a nice story. It's nice to talk about because he's right down the road in Ann Arbor. But no, not the right fit.
Ann Arbor to Allen Park. It's not too far.
Nah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, coach.
No retreads. Like all my research, just looking at stuff, and it's not even research because it's my team. I want to know what the word is out there. And they talk about Marvin Lewis.
Oh
my God, no.
Don't.
Billick, whatever, the old Ravens coach.
Brian Billick?
Brian Billick. It's on CBS. I'm like, no, bro. Like, I don't want these old dudes that have been in the league for 50 years and trying to come back in here and try to do it again. The league has passed them by. And I think the league has passed Jim Harbaugh by. You see how hard it is to get him to change in the college game. You know how hard it's going to be for him to change in the NFL game? He's just going to dust off his old play sheet and come back. I think it's the same thing, but it's not. Like, you thought you were revolutionary by switching out Alex Smith to Colin Kaepernick. They're all Colin Kaepernicks now. They're all doing the same thing. There's no evolution from, like, I can't do the retread. I can't do the guy that was already a head coach and now coming here again for a second or third chance. This isn't a second or third chance kind of job.
It's not.
This is a job for a guy to make his staple in the league. A young up-and-coming coach to show exactly what he got. And I think one of these three guys, either 1, 2, or 3, has the inside track for it. I would not be mad at any of these. But I feel like
any of these 3.
I would take any of these 3.
Okay.
Like you, but we highlighted where their downfall is, right? Joe Brady, can he lead a team? Right? He putting up numbers, getting the offense in the right position, that's great. But are you the nerdy guy that can't lead a team?
Right.
We saw Sean McVay, he got the mouthpiece to lead with the plays, but we haven't seen that out of this guy. Bieniemy, great offensive play calling. In game, calls the right plays. But is it you or is it Andy? We don't know. We've been through that already, and we don't want to go through it again. Saleh hasn't been a hot name for too long, but he's red hot right now. Are you getting on a wave, or is this guy legit? So it's things about all 3 of these guys, but I want to go with the guy that I think will build culture. Because that was a great point that you brought up early on. A guy that will lead a team, the leader of men, as well as creating and etching out an identity for this team. And I think defensively he can do that. And last but not least, it to me it's like, so what do you do now? What do you do now with your biggest offensive pieces, right?
Mm.
Your line is set. These guys are paid. They're drafted. Defense needs a total overhaul. But your two cogs, the two guys that have the biggest question mark is Matt Stafford. Do you trade him? Do you cut him? Do you honor him and try to figure out where he wants to go and then you move him? Do you try to get whatever assets that you can for him? Or do you ride out the next 2 years of his contract trying to get wins? Kenny Galladay, do you pay him? Last year, you franchise him or you pay him like a top 5 wide receiver for 5 years, X amount of dollars? Is he a top 5? Is he a top 10? Is he a top 15 receiver? Do you want to pour that much money into this guy? So these are the two biggest questions for Detroit moving into a new GM and a new head coach.
Listen,
You're the GM. What do you do?
I say you trade Stafford and you go with what's going to get you the best situation. So I go after assets from a team where I love those assets and he may not want to go there. Or I work it out with him to get him somewhere he wants to be because of all the years he's given us. I probably maybe take that route first, but something has to come back. I think it's delusional to think you're going to get this great haul of assets back for Stafford. I unfortunately am afraid that the current ownership will push that. I hope that the new GM comes in and realizes that there is a value for him. Let's go after what the true value is. Mm-hmm. But I definitely think he gets traded, and you need to trade him yesterday. Mm-hmm. Like, if you could do it before the year's out, great. I wouldn't just be to do him right. I would do it, of course, because of a pandemic. But definitely he should not be wearing a Lions jersey next year. He should not be here. Right. Be bad. Be horrible for the next couple years without Stafford and let him go possibly win a ring somewhere. Galladay, pay him. Pay him. Pay him. Here's why. I don't think he's a top 5 receiver in the league. I do think he's a top 10 to 15 guy. What I will say about him is when he is healthy, because unfortunately the kid gets hurt a lot, but when he is healthy, the kid makes catches. He makes very difficult catches in tight quarters. That is something that it's hard to come by. There are certain guys in this league, the Hopkins, and I'm going to name a guy who's not top 5, top 10, but he makes catches, and that's a Jarvis Landry type. These guys make catches that a lot of guys that are difficult for some guys, they make them look routine for themselves. Mm-hmm. I think that that's the kind of guy this is, and I think he should be paid accordingly. That's a good piece to have. I will hope that the next regime will come in and say, let's build around that piece. So you've got a piece on the outside, you've got an offensive line, you need a quarterback. You could argue you had a running back this year that I know he had some dumb plays, but he was explosive at times as well. Yeah, I'm just saying. I know he dropped a game winner and he's got some issues.
Set the tone for the whole season.
He's better than you've had.
He is better, but I question his every down backness.
Okay. So I just think you have some – so I think there are some things that you can do. There are some moves you can make as a new GM, as a new head coach. But I think Galladay should stay and Stafford should go.
I think they both should go.
Just blow the whole thing up.
I would blow the whole thing up. I would definitely do right by Stafford, though. James said, I'll Troy Weaver the team. That's the Pistons GM. He just got rid of everybody. Yes, I would do that as well, man. I would do the latter. I would trade Stafford to whoever he wants to go to. It wouldn't matter to me what I got for him. Because he got every Lion record. He'll go down as whatever the Lions Hall of Fame would do. To your point, they never gave him anything to win with, and he did what he could with what he had. So I wouldn't disgruntle him. You learn from Calvin Johnson about disgruntling your greats, right?
Okay.
The man won't even step foot in here because you wanted him to pay you back $1 stinking million because he wanted to retire early.
Right.
So I wouldn't do that for Stafford. This guy, he broke his collarbone, he broke his back, he broke his hand, played with dislocated shoulder. The guy's a warrior. The guy definitely played hard for us. So I would definitely honor him by taking him wherever he wanted to go.
Okay.
So me and Kevin was talking like San Francisco might need a quarterback, Dallas might need a quarterback, the Bears might need a quarterback. So there's places that he can go that will give up a third and a vet, maybe for him.
Right.
A 12-year guy. I don't think he's a first-round pick. I don't think he's a second-round pick compensation. Once you get to the third and fourth rounds, I think you get enough compensation for him on that one. Maybe a third this year and a fourth next year, or something to that extent. So take him wherever he wants to go and get what you can for him. Galladay, it would be hard for me to give him a contract knowing that he's not a top 10 receiver.
Can you give him top 15 money?
I don't think he wants top 15. Like open market, somebody's going to pay him top 10 money.
That's true.
So if you let him walk for nothing, he's going to make bread somewhere. So I think the best route is to franchise him. Right? You franchise him this year, see what the new GM can work out, and try to give him top 15 money. And if you don't accept that, then let him walk or trade him at the trade deadline next year. But I'm not giving this guy a major contract.
Can he play him? If you're the new GM and the head coach, can he play himself into a major contract?
No, because I know 10 receivers better than him.
Okay.
Can
he outdo 5 of them?
Here's the thing about receivers. Receivers don't win you Super Bowls, right? They'll win you some games, but they don't win you Super Bowls. So
DK Metcalf is a pretty good receiver.
He won you some games. He'll win you some games. DeAndre Hopkins won him a game, right? The best receivers win you games. But name a top 10 receiver that was on the last 5 Super Bowl teams. They don't take you all the way there. It ain't them. It's the quarterback. It's the defense.
Right.
It's the scheme.
Right.
It's the running game. So that outside threat is cool. But if you're not 5 years in a bubble of going to a Super Bowl, then you don't need to pay a guy a certain percentage of your salary cap, and you're not going to do nothing.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
So franchise him this year. See what you can work out. If you don't, trade him at the trade deadline. See what you can get for him. But I'm not giving him a big contract.
Gotcha.
And those are really only 2 pieces. Everybody else is expendable.
Yeah.
These 2 guys are expendable in my book. But everybody else, they can go. Get what you can for them. This is a total rip down.
Man, starting from the beginning. You finally got what you wanted, though, Dre.
Yep. I said this from the beginning. Like, lose. Sheila said it in her press conference. And, after she fired them dudes, we are technically in the race for a playoff spot, but we not even thinking about that.
No.
Like, in my mind, that I heard her say tank.
That's exactly what you heard.
I heard her say tank. Shut down Stafford, let him get healthy, and then ship him out of here and tank every single game. Play the backup running backs. Tank. Don't let Galladay come back from IR. Tank. That's all. That's what you should do.
Just put out a bulletin to the league.
Yep.
We're calling all suitors.
Yep.
Take a look at our roster. What do you got? We'll take 7th-round picks. We'll take 5th-round picks.
Yeah, everybody but our offensive linemen. I would keep all our offensive linemen. Other than that, take whoever you want.
No, they're going to keep the first year. They're going to keep Okuda. They're going to keep him because you paid him 1st-round money. So
you got to, but I would. If you give me another 1st round, you give me another top 10 pick for him, I sell him.
Well, there you have it. Everybody can go. Everything must go sail for the Detroit Lions.
But it depends on who you hire too. Like, Could you imagine the DC coordinator with Okuda? Like he might turn him into something.
He might turn him into something.
You pour something into that kid, build his confidence back up. He might be a dog.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They just left the kid out on the island to get torched, and now he ain't got no confidence. So it depends on what they pour into him. So if you get a coach in there that supports him and makes him work hard for his position, instead of just throwing him out there just because he's a first-round draft pick and expect him to shut down Devontae Adams, you set up for failure.
Right. Good point. Very good point.
And then my sleeper GM pick is Louis Riddick. I know people will be like, why? I'd be like, bro, the dude is smooth. I like him. You know what I'm saying? He's been a GM before. I feel like him bringing in players, they'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna play for him. You know what I'm saying? And then that TV side has a thing to it. You see Mayock, he went to the Raiders, he got to watch all these players, he got to see the league evolve into what it is now. So he's a guy that'll get a Henry Ruggs, the stretch offense and go against a team like Kansas City. So get a guy that's been working in TV for a while. They'll see how the trends go, and he seems like a guy that can take us there. Chris Billman is another name I kept hearing on Twitter. Don't know enough about him, but they say he's got a mind for it, former Lion. So
yeah,
well, you know, I don't like hiring people just because of alumni status. So I got to do some more research. So if somebody knows something about it, shoot me a article, and I'll definitely look it over.
All right. Well, folks in Detroit are happy, man. Overall, everybody's happy. People are excited. The hope of a new season has already started to wake itself up around here. People are ready for draft day already.
Sheila.
And they're believing in Sheila Ford.
We believe in you, Sheila. We believe in you. All right.
Oh, this gonna be funny.
You want to get to these top fives, and then we can close it out with the picks.
All right, top five.
Oh, was there any like big news this week in NFL?
Well, listen, man, COVID is real in these streets. We already know
that is true,
and the NFL is. I don't want to sound like doomsday here, but a lot of people are like questioning, can they even finish the season? Like, people are calling this a true outbreak in the league. It's right now it feels like more of an outbreak in Baltimore, but I mean every team is impacted by it. The Broncos played a game this weekend against the Saints with the scout team quarterback who was really the emergency quarterback who hasn't played quarterback since he was in college.
The league did them dirty.
The league, I don't know. I think the league made an example of them.
But you still pushing back these games, but you ain't pushing back their game?
Well, I think it's because they screwed themselves by not wearing masks. So when the quarterback has to come out on Twitter and apologize and say, hey, we didn't take it serious. Sorry. We didn't wear masks in close quarters with a guy that got tested positive. My bad.
I guess so.
You have to do that, then you're not taking responsibility. So I feel like the league said, wait, we've got protocols in place. You guys didn't follow them and you want us to help you out. And they said no. Whereas I think they're finding that the Baltimore situation is more of an outbreak and they're helping them out.
Okay.
I don't know. So that's like the biggest story. I think it was the first time since 20, 30 years ago when a game where there were more interceptions thrown by a team than there were completed passes.
Yeah.
And there was 2 interceptions. So that goes to show you how bad that game was. Also, big AFC South matchup. Tennessee rammed the Colts.
Yeah. Yeah. Tennessee trying to get their groove back. 2 great wins in a row for Tennessee, trying to get back into people's top fives. And really just getting back to what they do. Run that thing.
Yep.
I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what you got to do. That's your identity. So
big time win for them. Green Bay rolled Chicago. Chicago's another team. They need to just set a match.
I like the Nagy signing at first, but I feel like he's lost the voice of the team, waffling between quarterbacks. It's probably the worst thing that he could have done, but it was a tough decision, and he had to make it, and unfortunately it went wrong for him.
Yeah, that's done. So that's another situation that sucks for poor Chicago fans. Good fan base, loyal fan base.
Stafford gonna beat us 2 times a year there.
There you go. You said it, I didn't. And last but not least,
Yeah.
Cleveland. I had to change it up a little bit, trying to keep my tone down. I don't want to interrupt the meeting next door. But Cleveland won again.
Oh, okay.
8-3. Guaranteed to not have a losing season. Guaranteed.
Run that thing, right?
Run that thing.
Run that
Gotta
thing.
keep running that thing. Unfortunately, we play Tennessee next week.
Chubb and Hunt. That's your formula. Don't go away from it. Baker, don't you throw that ball.
Play action with Baker. Rollouts only. No
Baker?
standing back in the pocket and just throwing. No drop back.
In a
Keep
couple
running that
years,
thing.
do you pick up his 5th-year option? Do you give him a contract? Or you go get you another quarterback?
No, I think you do because of the system. I think he fits the system as long as they stick with it. It doesn't feel forced to me. I don't feel like they're trying to force this into it. I think Stefanski says this is our formula. Now I don't know if this is our formula because we're deficient at quarterback, or does he believe Baker's a good enough quarterback to run the formula? I don't know. I feel like it's clear when you watch the games, he's better rolling out. He's better in play action because he has time to make a decision. He doesn't have too many choices because the play action helps him out a lot. Right. When it's 3rd and long and he's got to stand in shotgun, it's scary. And then occasionally he misses the easy throw. But I think you do give him a 5th year, maybe, but you don't. But don't go another 4 or 5 invested. Maybe pick the year up and say, let's see what happens. And then if this works again next year and you see that progression, then you say, okay, we've got our guy long term. But I don't know yet. The jury's still out. I'm not going to give up on him, though. Just keep running it. Just keep running it. We're not built to come from behind. We're built to stay in close games. And if you can get a lead, we're built to hold that lead by running the football.
Without Odell, y'all racking up these wins. Look at you.
8-3, baby. 8-3, baby. Now we just got to make the playoffs. Just make it. That's all I'm asking for. Just make it.
That's all I want. Just
make it.
That's it.
COVID hit it hard. We can get an eighth seed in there too. 2 extra chances. Just make it. Just
make it. Talk about team that doesn't know what their identity is. Tampa Bay. I mean,
sir, that's your pick. Yeah. That's your Super Bowl pick.
I mean, bro, I don't know what's wrong with this team, man. Do Tom Brady stuff. Stop not trying to do Tom Brady stuff. Who's the winner on this team? It ain't you, Bruce Arians. So do Tom Brady things. My man just standing there in the pocket. Run the ball.
Yep.
Do some play action. You got weapons. Bring the defense down so he can make that shot. Y'all you got 2 backs. When y'all was running it, y'all was winning. Run the ball. But you want him to sit in the pocket. No. Then the defense don't help. I said it last week. Vegas gave you the blueprint.
Yep.
Stay in quarter shells. Don't let them beat over the top of you.
Yep.
But what you going to do? You're going to do Tampa Bay stuff. You're going to blitz, and it's going to get you in trouble. How much trouble? 200 yards in the first quarter to Tyreek Hill.
And he got you how many? How many did you
54.
You went to sleep and woke up and saw that.
Oh, man. I woke up to your text message. You was like, Tyreek going in. I was like, man, what he got, 25, 30? Oh, yeah. Okay. I think that. It was crazy. I needed every point, too. That's how bad I was losing. I needed every point.
50, boy.
50 piece. Appreciate you, Tyreek. But that's bad coaching. The team is poorly
100%.
coached. That's
100%.
bad coaching. You got all those players. And you don't know what you want to play. You don't scheme to your defense or to your opponent. It's bad coaching. And until somebody's pride goes down, I don't understand. You're gonna have to conform to Brady ball. That's what you got him for. I don't know.
Who's gonna lose this battle first, Brady or Arians?
Brady probably.
You think so? I think Arians loses.
I think Arians is too prideful.
I know. I think ownership steps in and says, "Hey, man, get it right."
You think Brady goes in the front office like, "Hey, listen, I can do it, but you gotta get rid of this guy."
So, something's gonna have to be said.
Josh McDaniels to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Something's gonna get said because you got a 6-time champ on your team. Like you said, who's won more?
Yeah.
And this is clearly this is not rocket science. You can watch these games and tell what the problem is. It's the coach.
Yeah.
It's play calling. And then he throws them under the bus in the media.
Yep.
So it's the play calling. It's the arrogance of the play calling that got you ran out of Arizona. People picked you up. They like your story with your hats and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But, bro, like, really? You got him standing back there like he's Pat Mahomes. He's not.
He's not.
And I mean, I'm not trying to knock the guy, but he's not.
No, I mean, everybody sees it. You got to put him in a position to excel.
That's it.
You got him to make better decision making than Jameis Winston. So let him make better decisions. Don't give him the same offense where you got to chuck it 50 yards every third play. So he's throwing picks out there looking stupid. And you got receivers that don't know their whole route tree. It's ridiculous. And then you won't even let Antonio Brown play more than 50, 60 snaps. And he's the guy that knows how to do everything out there. He's the guy that got the most rhythm with Tom Brady. And then you got 2 running backs. Run the ball. But
And it was sad to see like Mahomes touchdown, Bucks 3 and out. Mahomes touchdown, Bucks 3 and out. Tyreek touchdown, Bucks 3 and out. It was like every time you look on Red Zone, they would show the game long enough for the Kansas City to score. Then they would cut away. And then maybe 5 minutes later, they'd come back and say, update from Tampa and Brady 3 and out. And we'll come back to that game. And then you go back at touchdown. It's like, golly. Before you knew it, it was 17-0. 20-0.
Yeah. Then Brady tried to work his magic at the end, but it's too late. It's too late.
And it was and even if that had gotten any closer, they weren't. Listen, the Chiefs ain't giving that up.
Yeah. I mean, before that game, Pat Mahomes is going to get his revenge. We all felt it. Like, I'm going to beat Tom, and I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him bad for what he did to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he going to beat me in the playoffs and then sum me. Nah, I'm going to get you. It's my league now. So, like, everybody saw the writing on the wall but y'all. That's dumb to me. That's horrible. I'm just a Pop Warner coach, though,
Oh, God. All right. That was it. That's it, man. Let's see what happens tonight. Guys, let's see if Seattle's defense will make Philadelphia look good, make Carson Wentz look like a real quarterback again, or if Seattle will beat this team like they should.
100 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what I need. 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, nothing to Tyler Lockett. Absolutely nothing to Tyler Lockett. That's what I need.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes is especial.
He's a generational talent, bro. Generational.
Killer. He is now, we talked about this last week, MVP candidates, right?
You got to you can't do it yet. Russ play tonight. If Russ give you 4 and 4 tonight, he still got to be number 1.
Not after what Mahomes did to to Las Vegas last week, and then what he just did to Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Sorry, right. Pat's running away with it again.
All right, top 5.
There's been a change.
There has been a change. My whole top 5 got revamped. Last week, I don't even want to talk about it.
Mine got shuffled a little, I'll say that.
Shuffle? Oh,
and I have a returner coming back into the fold.
Yeah. Total revamp. All
right, I'll start. My number 5. Coming back into my top 5 after what I would like to call a statement game against the league's number 1 defense statistically. Now they've won 2 in a row. They have a system. They understand the system, and it works well when They stick to it, and they can bully you. How far can it take you in the playoffs? We'll see. It took them to the AFC Championship game last year, but then they got beat by the offense of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a team that you do not want to see on a cold January day in a playoff game because you got to tackle that man, and nobody wants to do that. So welcome back to my top 5, Tennessee.
Hey,
you are back in at number 5 for me.
All right, my number 5. I put the Saints, man. I got the Saints. I had the Saints in last week. They dropped down to number 5 even after a win because a couple other teams are, played great games. But I kept them in the top 5. They're on the longest win streak so far of the year. They beat a Broncos team pretty bad. That's what you're supposed to do. I just like the overall talent of the team. You can see they're ushering in a new era with Taysom Hill. I'm sorry, Drew Brees. They look better without you. More multi-dimensional with Hill and Kamara and Murray running in the back. So I don't know. I don't even know if you bring Brees back. That might be a story moving forward. I think this year maybe Brees gives you a better chance. But in the long run, I think the Taysom Hill show is coming, and him with Kamara, that's a good 1-2 punch. Don't know who's going to run the ball. He just got to get more chemistry with Michael Thomas.
But don't they need to throw it more though? Like, don't they need to throw it a little more to balance that out? Like, they seem unbalanced to me. Like, you're right, it looks good when they're running the ball, but like when they run the ball, they got like 4 plays.
Yeah, I think that's just where they are now. Once you see Drew Brees come back, the offense will go back to what it is. But I feel like next year it'll morph to more to what we're seeing now. Like I said, Tyson Hill, he's got to get better at throwing the ball, more confident in throwing the ball. But right now they're just trying to win games. They're trying to last. They're doing the Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, they're surviving.
They're surviving until Drew Brees come back.
I just feel like Taysom Hill at quarterback for 16 games is low at the box. Like, it just feels like they feel more one-dimensional. Like, I get the change up when they bring him in with Drew Brees. I get why they're doing that. But even sometimes when they bring him in for Drew Brees, it feels weird to me. Like, the timing of that seems off. But I don't know. It feels like they are definitely trying to stay in the fight, win games until Drew gets back. But I just feel like they're not. I don't think this will work for a whole season. To me, they will fall back to being like a low first tier team every year if Taysom Hill was their guy.
Here's the thing: you load the box on them. That's one thing, but you still got what you gonna single Michael Thomas? Like,
yeah, if Taysom Hill can't throw the ball to him, I will.
I don't think he's. I would give him another year. Like I said, this is just a sample size. I would give him another year of getting comfortable at playing full-time quarterback. His ball is weird. You can tell from the first couple weeks. Michael Thomas never drops balls, but he got that ball. He was like, why it come out like that? So he throws a weird ball. I feel like it's all body, but it is a tight spiral. But I don't know. I think it might work in the future. But for right now, just a stopgap until they get something better. Right. Until Drew Brees come back.
Okay.
All right, so that was my number 4. That was number 4. My number 5 is the Packers.
No, that was your number 5.
That was my number 5. My number 4 is the Packers. I'm going Pack. Go Pack, go. Made it back into my top 5. Great win against the Bears. Every time you beat a division rival, no matter how bad they are, it's always a quality win. Aaron Rodgers still solidifying himself as a bad man. Him and Devontae Adams is a unbeatable 1-2 punch. Still would like to see them run the ball more.
But, too.
It's getting cold. You thought they were getting that rhythm by now, but they definitely pumping up these stats for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm here for it because they'll get down to the 5-yard line and let him throw it in.
Right.
So I'm putting the Pack at number 4.
All right. No arguments there. My number 4 is the team we were just talking about, New Orleans Saints. I had them at number 4, like you said. I had them in my top 5 last week, so they didn't fall out, of course. But I dropped them down a little bit because I feel like it is survival mode, but their defense is still dominating. Like that defense is for real. And in the past, it's always been the offense is super scary, and the defense was more like opportunistic, but they weren't scary on defense. It wasn't something you had to super worry about. But this defense is different. They hit hard. They get turnovers. They make plays. They got some flashy guys. They can pressure the quarterback. And I think that bodes well for them. And having this situation where they're in this style bodes well for them down the road. So maybe they'll be able to get into more of a dogfight situation in the playoffs and not get beat by a Rams team or somebody who comes in and kind of surprises them. Every year when we have them 13-3 and we think this is their year, then they always get beat at home. Maybe this is the year that some of these games will help them know that, hey, we've got an identity, we've got a blueprint here. We can really win some tough football games, and we can blow some people out too. So I wouldn't call them super scary yet. I want to see what happens when Drew Brees comes back, but they definitely are holding it down while he's gone, and they're not barely winning games. They're beating teams, albeit they're bad teams, but they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I had New Orleans at number 4.
Yeah, I definitely want to see them run more because Devontae's going to get bracketed more the later you get in, and they still haven't had a clear-cut second receiver, so they definitely got work to do.
Yeah. All right, my number 3, Green Bay Packers. They are my number 3. So good call on your part. I would like to see them run them more too. What the heck? They came out yesterday, ran the ball down the Bears' throat. I'm like, oh, we're about to have a good day in fantasy. And then they stopped. Then they swap out Jones and Williams like for whole series at a time,
that's weird.
Quarters at a time. Just I don't understand that.
I don't understand that either.
Aaron Rodgers is killing right now. Unfortunately, he will not get accolades for it unless he wins the Super Bowl because of Pat Mahomes and Russ. But he's killing right now, and they're going to either make it far on his back or they're going to lose because he has a bad game. But right now, and their defense was opportunistic yesterday. When their defense is healthy, they're actually pretty good. So they're starting to get healthy. They got the Smiths back. They got the big fella in the middle back. They played a good game yesterday defensively against Mitch Trubisky. So I got them as my number 3 team in the league right now.
Yeah. Number 3, my number 3 team. I'm going with Tennessee for everything that you said.
Okay.
My number 5. 2 good wins in a row now for Tennessee and beating the number 1 defense. Getting that revenge, that's a big thing for me. And handling them the way they handled them. And just sticking to the formula. That formula works for you in December and January. So as long as he don't get hurt, they're going to be a very hard team to beat. And that's a team that didn't throw a lot of passes. They got away from trying to make Tannehill into Superman, which he's not. Right. Keep him in that game manager position. Him and Brown was going crazy, but they just reeled it back, said this is what we're going to do. It's take a lot of balls to run at the number 1 defense in the league, and they did it, and they did it well, and they did it effective. And ever since that Baltimore game, it just seems like a fire just got lit up under them. They were challenged as men, and they just came out on another side playing real physical football. So I'm looking for Tennessee to do big things moving forward. I got them at number 3. So that lets you know Buffalo is not in my top 5. And that was really hard because I wanted to get them back in. But I feel like Tennessee, the Packers, and the Saints all have better showings than them. And it's just something about Buffalo that I can't put my finger on right now. I know that's subjective, but I want to get them back in the top 5, but I just couldn't do it this week.
Yeah, something because it's like they have moments where you're like, man, this team's really good. And then they have moments where you're like, why are they letting this team hang around?
Mm-hmm.
If there wasn't some buffoonery by the coaching staff for the Chargers, they might have lost that game to the Chargers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. They would be in my number 6 team right now, but I get it.
So I guess I can go 2-1 here. Just go ahead and run through them all. My 2-1 for the last 1, 2, 3 for the last 4 weeks. It's been Pittsburgh 2, Kansas City 1. So we can go ahead and get that out the way. Pittsburgh's game keeps getting pushed back. Now we wait until Wednesday if that game happens at all. You would think this might be a game that get knocked off without James Conner, but Baltimore is heavily deficient without Lamar and all their running backs and defensive players. So you would look to see Pittsburgh to keep rolling here, with a good win against a division rival. And then, I mean, who gonna beat Kansas City? I mean, you just got to beat them you got to catch them on a bad day, and they're doing it without running the football. So once they actually commit to running the football, which might be never,
right.
this team is scary.
Yeah, I hear you, man. There's been a change in my top.
There's been a change.
There's been a change after the last 2 weeks, and I know Pittsburgh has kept on winning, but it's the way Kansas City is going about it.
Yeah.
And that was my thing with them at the beginning of the year. It was the way they were going about it, and I had them at number one. Everybody was, no, but Pittsburgh. And I finally gave in to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because they won some big games.
That's true.
But the way Kansas City went on the road, now mind you, on the road's different. This year's a lot quieter, but they went to somebody else's building, and it was your rival. It was the team that beat you already this year. There was the revenge factor. There was the trash talk factor. We drove the bus around the stadium. There was all that. And you went in there and you played them tough because you're supposed to. They're supposed to play you tough. That's your rival. But the way you came out and won that game in the end, and then the way you went into Tampa Bay yesterday and just demolished them. Sorry, man. They jumped for me this week. Back to number one.
Back to number one.
Kansas
Don't
City
look like they coming off no time soon.
Don't look like they coming down off that pedestal anytime soon. So it's KC and Pittsburgh. Oh, DK just took a hit and bounced right off of my man.
And he scored a touchdown.
No, he got tackled.
Yeah, so I got Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Green Bay, New Orleans.
I got KC, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, New Orleans, Tennessee.
Yeah, so we got the same five, just different orders in the back.
Yep.
So great to see what this next week will bring. We appreciate everybody still with us. Make sure you share. Like the stream, follow us on every mode of social. We're gonna go ahead and do these pick'ems and get on out of here so we can watch this game with y'all. So we are in week 12. Let's go to week 13. All right, week 13. We got New Orleans at Atlanta.
Trap game. Can anybody say trap game? I can say it. Trap game. Trap game.
Ain't nothing trap about this.
Atlanta. Listen, I'm going to tell you, it's a trap game. Listen, Atlanta can score. They're not a good football team. I get it. But they can score a lot of points and still lose.
You ain't watched that game yesterday. They was horrible.
But they won.
Oh, they did win 43-6. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Like, I'm just saying, like, it's a trap game. It's a rivalry game, trap game, NFC South. And I think the test of can New Orleans score a lot of points comes into play here. I can see this game potentially turning into a shootout because it has to, and we're going to find out if Tyson Hill can really throw the ball.
Here's the thing. The defense shined that game. I don't see the defense going ham again like that against New Orleans. Hopefully Tyson Hill can protect the football. I'm going with the Saints, man. They beat them 2 weeks ago, 24-9.
I'm going with the Saints as well, but I'm just saying it's a trap
game. All right. Detroit at Chicago. Tank. Hey,
man, if Stafford plays, Detroit's going to win this game. Chicago's horrible.
Tank.
I hear you, but Chicago's horrible.
Trubisky, let's get it.
Chicago's horrible.
Come on, Trubisky. Cleveland at Tennessee. Woo! 1 o'clock, baby. Let's go.
Tennessee.
Ooh.
I'm picking right here with the analytical side. I'm not going with the heart. Not going with the fandom. Ooh. Bro, Robinson ran all over us. We had to hang on against a 1-9 team. Albeit we are missing some important pieces, and we get a couple of those pieces back this week. Tennessee is just a lot, bro.
King Henry's in town, baby.
Tennessee is a lot. I'm sorry.
I'm picking Tennessee, too. I wish you would have picked Cleveland. It would have been a lot more funner.
No.
Cincinnati at Miami. Fitzmagic. It's back.
And Cincinnati doesn't have a quarterback, so Miami.
Miami.
And I need somebody to beat Miami. We need all these 3 lost teams to get knocked off, please.
Same here. Jacksonville at Minnesota. Bleh.
Dumpster fire. Minnesota.
Minnesota. Vegas at Jets. Bleh.
Vegas. Easy.
Play all your Raiders next week. Play all your
Right. Even the Raiders defense.
Right. Play them all. Indianapolis at Houston.
Indianapolis bounces back.
Same. Deshaun Watson is a beast, but no running game means no wins. Rams at Arizona. Division.
I would love to say Rams here, but once again, they stunk up the joint this week. And I'm going to call upset Arizona.
I don't think that's an upset. I feel like they would probably be favored. Arizona needs a win. Like, they need a win. 2 losses in a row. Seattle, New England, coming back off the bye. They need a dub. They go into the NFC East after this, Giants, Eagles. But they got to beat the Rams. You got to beat your division, the people in your division. So,
right.
I'm hoping Arizona bounces back on this one. New York at Seattle. No Daniel Jones.
Seattle all day.
Seattle all day. Philly at Green Bay.
Green Bay all day.
Yep. New England at the Chargers.
New England wins 2 in a row.
New England wins 2 in a row.
Oh, Darius Slay and DK Metcalf are fighting.
DK always fighting, bro. Come on. Joe swole ass on the bench. He always fighting somebody.
Yep. And they threw a flag on Slay, it looks like, and he might have just got tossed out of the game.
Don't get kicked out. Slay got kicked out?
I don't know. It looks like he's walking to the – oh, no, he's staying on the field. It looks like they're going to call a 15-yarder, though, on him. Let's see what they call it.
Bro, he always fighting people.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 24, defense. Have the distance to the goal, first down. So DK gave him a nice little shove. And then Slay walked away, then came back. Something must have been said, and he came back across. And when he came back across, he gave DK a push to the face, and that's what got the flag.
Bro, just sit down somewhere. Hey, listen, Chargers lose this game. Anthony Lynn, bro.
He should be gone anyway, unfortunately. Good coach, but bye-bye. It's over with. It didn't work.
You on the hottest seat. You might be next.
Yep. Him and Jim Harbaugh together again.
Denver at Kansas City.
Ugh. Kansas City.
That's a Sunday night game. That was horrible scheduling.
They can't flex that.
Yeah. It's 2 Monday night games. Washington at Pittsburgh at 5.
Ugh. Oh, that's the makeup game. Pittsburgh.
And then San Francisco at Buffalo at 8.
Ooh, good play. San Francisco at Buffalo. Ooh.
Let Buffalo, come on, man. You need them. You need
No,
all.
I need San Francisco to win that game.
You need all these dubs.
But Buffalo needs that. I'll go Buffalo. I'll go Buffalo.
I think Buffalo can get them. The Monday, Tuesday? The Tuesday? Oh, there's a Tuesday game. Dallas at Baltimore.
Oh.
Is that a makeup game too, I guess?
Baltimore.
I don't want to say it depends on who playing, but yeah, I guess.
It does. Depends on who's on the roster.
Depends on who's on the roster. Dallas just don't seem like they got any pride in what they do anymore.
Nope.
It's like they okay with getting blown out, which is sad. Yeah, I'll pick Baltimore. Tampa Bay and Carolina are the only 2 on the bye next week. So that is it, brah.
All right.
All right. So we appreciate everybody sticking with us. And what we appreciate the most is our sponsors here at Academy Sports Show. Our sponsor being Mr. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up the cold waterproof and their daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
MyPlumbing.com gives you a map of all the areas that they service as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
Plumbing is the real MVP. fee peep. And again, if you want to get in contact with us, Academy Sports Show at gmail.com.
.com.
Am I reaching? Is the way to contact with us. If you're a fellow podcaster, you want to collab or you want to be a sponsor, that's the best way to hit us up. If not, you see the tags on the screen. Hit me up, DM me, or DMJWheel02 or DM me at Dre underscore on air on IG, and we'll get back to you kind of quickly. All right, brother. Anything else on the docket for you?
That's all, man. Everybody enjoy this Monday night game. Hopefully, there's a Wednesday afternoon game. But everybody, most of all, stay safe and stay healthy, and man, stay away from this COVID.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Make sure you like, share everything Academy Sports Show, and we'll see you next week.